Hey everybody, this is Saline County Hardliners coming at you again. I'm
Coming at you live.
Keith Kellum. We got over there Kevin Bradshaw, and we got our guest that's become a regular guest, Hot Springs County Republican Chairman Mike Snakel, the Snake. Today we're going to be talking about.
They call me Ranger Man now.
Yeah,
that's an inside joke.
we're going to talk about what's going on in the legislature, pros and cons, good and bad.
Yeah, we'll talk about what we got going on in the legislature, a little bit of national news.
And we're going to talk about a little national at the end. But first off, I'm going to get Mike to chime in on this new this SB 90 bill. He just vanished. Did you see that?
Hey, I'm a ghost, baby.
All right, he gonna brief us on SB 90, and I don't even have the title in front of me except.
Yeah, SB 90 is a bill that was introduced last week by Senator English. And what SB 90 is it's going to require school boards to have public comment during school board meetings, because right now, I think everybody thought the Sunrise bill handled that a couple of years ago, and it didn't. But what SB 90 is it's allowing people to come to the school board or the board of directors, whatever they're calling it, whatever the school's going to call it, school board meeting, and have the ability to have, it requires public comment. It's not going to be have the ability, it's going to require that each and every school have public comment and set their own guidelines with each school on how they're going to implement it, but they're going to be required to implement it. And I don't think that bill has an emergency clause. Let me look here real quick. And I'll talk about that real quick too while when you get on ArcLeg and you look at some of these bills and you'll see that it has an emergency clause in it. That isn't because, a declaration of emergency or anything like that. It means that as soon as it makes it through the House and the Senate and it gets a pass, that it immediately goes to the governor. And as soon as the governor signs it, then it immediately goes into effect. It doesn't have any time constraint on it or a year. It doesn't have anything on it where it's going to be implemented next year. It is immediate. As soon as the governor signs it, it's immediate. And I'm looking at the bill right now because I do not believe subtitle. Nope. No, it doesn't have an emergency clause. So it would most likely go into effect the next school year when the new school board sits, because we're coming into school board elections right now also for different.
Be no reason to have an emergency on something like that. I mean,
no, there's going to be some bills we talk about today, when we get to the hammer bills. I think each and every one of the hammer bills have emergency clauses in them where they immediately go into effect as soon as the governor signs them. They are immediate. And we'll talk about some codifying and some different language that's in some of these other bills. But
well, I want to say about that. Go ahead, Mike.
Yeah, and hey, Kevin, if you see someone that asks a question, just kind of hit a pause on us or something real quick. That way, if somebody's got a question or anything they want to ask, because I think there's going to be some people that come on live with us tonight. We're going to be available to the general public so they can ask questions, and we'll answer them as we go if anyone's got a question on SB 90. But that was one Missy Bosch, which is an Arkansas First contributor, was really big on. Me and her both spoke. I spoke right.
I did watch her testifying on it today some for a little while.
Today, yeah, and I didn't post mine.
Maybe it was yesterday. Anyway,
it was last Wednesday. Me and her spoke. I spoke right before she did, but I don't think I posted my of course I was for on it, and telling the reasons why we need it, because I'm in Glen Rose School District, and Glen Rose School District doesn't have any ability for public comment right now. Almost everyone that was, our school board doesn't. Almost everyone that was there at the Senate committee hearing on it before it made it to the floor and the Senate voted on it, most everyone that spoke for it there, almost all the school districts had public comment. I think I was the only one there that day, and there was 3 hours of testimony given that day. I think I was the only one that didn't have a school or was in a school district that didn't allow public comment in it.
Well, this is part of that. I want to say this is part of the national shutdown on citizens here.
Yeah.
Not having, we've had all these problems with schools across the nation
Yeah.
and our own.
Oh yeah.
It's library filth in there, or whether it's lack of discipline, whatever the reasons are, and they don't want to hear from people. Well, a lot of it's DEI crap, and critical.
Well, it's not just DEI crap, but yeah, there you go, critical race theory. It's also that
all
too.
that was being introduced, and they didn't want to hear from parents because
Nope.
parents don't want it, so they don't want to go there. So this is part of the new why we elected Donald Trump in November 5th. Why we want a rejuvenation of people's voice. I mean, because right now we don't have it, and this is this kind of thing here, which my hat's off to Missy for but testifying about it, and you. But who's the English.
So Miss English.
That's a really
Senator
good.
English.
It's a good bill.
It's a very good bill, and I was surprised because I do some studying on school boards and the ability for the public to participate in anything, and there's some bills out there that are kind of misleading that almost makes it seem like that is already a requirement at school boards, but it's not. And when this bill came up, I was an absolute supporter of it. I think any government entity that exists in the United States,
taxpayers should be able to speak.
Absolutely. There should not be any restriction to it. Now, you should have a level of decorum, and I talked about that during the committee meeting, but there should be a certain level of decorum that's expected when you're there speaking.
Sure.
But to not allow the public to have input, and in one of what I consider one of the most important things we have in our lives with any country or anywhere on the face of this planet is our children's education. That's everything for their future and their ability to be successful or
future too.
Yeah, or unsuccessful. And it starts at our public schools. This isn't going to apply to private schools. And that was brought up during the committee meeting also. Well, how are we going to hold public schools, accountable on this? Well, private schools don't have school boards. They don't have elections for school board members. So you don't have these issues there. And I think anything
but
that those schools do.
Don't they have some kind of an organization within where
Here, hold up. I got some things left. So my kids go to a private school, and what they do, we do is we actually have like meetings of like that where we can still talk. And most of us, we know the people who are in charge because it's a small group. There's maybe like 500 people at our school. Actually, maybe up 200 some odd people at our school right now. And that's K through 12. But we actually have meetings where you can go and be a part of it. And actually, most parents are involved with school activities the entire time. That's the thing is, you parents need to be involved. And that's what the issue is. And the main reason we're doing this bill is because schools are keeping parents from being involved in what's going on in the school.
Yeah, they're wanting to dictate,
especially the ones that want to be involved.
Yeah, and parents should be involved in their child's education, and because it's important. And
because Trump said that we're not going to have any more we're not recognizing DEI anymore or any of that. That doesn't mean they're going to go by that. They're not going to.
No, there's already teachers out there that have been arrested.
They'll double down on you. They'll double down on you and still have it. Just like I believe in Maine, they were talking about today about not honoring something. I don't remember what it was now. Something to do with
you see nationally in the United States, when you think about the 70s and 80s and 90s, when me and Keith was in school back when they were throwing rocks at each other and we didn't have guns or anything, but we were competitive.
That was more like 60s and 70s. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we were competitive in the world market when it came to education. The United States on a high school education is not even, we're not even in the top 20 across the world in being competitive with our education and our kids graduating. And Arkansas is really far down the list. I can't remember what rank we are. I'll pull it up here real quick. Or if one of you,
I believe it's near the bottom.
Yeah, I think we're 39th or something. That I know we're in the 30s.
We might be.
We're in the
we
40s on education.
Yeah, we
Oh,
are. Yeah, it used to be.
We're on up there. I think
49.
we're 45. I think we're 45. Actually,
Right.
I can look it up real quick.
And
Well,
that starts with the Department of Education, because you have schools now, and Kevin's real fortunate that he has the ability for his kids to be in private school, because they don't teach, they don't receive federal money, which they do now to some extent.
Oh, they do now.
Well,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna lie.
Learn
We're
that.
using
You got the
we're
Learn
using
Act
Learn that.
kicking in.
yeah, but they teach to a test. So we're not teaching kids civics anymore. We're not teaching kids history anymore. We're not teaching biology anymore. Our science, technology, engineering, and math, we
Or
are at
not
the bottom.
teaching it correctly anyway.
No, we're
Because that's where that critical race theory is where you're changing your whole program.
I mean, yeah,
you
you're
know,
involved
it
in
is.
race and math and language. I mean, that's ridiculous. You can't do that.
So
We're the United States was successful. We taught to an expected level of competency. Now we teach to the lowest level of competency. Whoever is the slowest person, and this isn't digging on anyone, but whoever
you
or
want to
wherever
bring
that's,
everybody down instead of bringing everybody up.
yeah,
You want
yeah,
to, it's like curving grades. You're bringing
yeah.
it down to the best. To the best grade that somebody has, and you go down from
Mhm.
there. But you also are, it's dumbing down the system is what it's doing.
Yeah, and
Well,
I
that's what
think
they
SB
want.
90 will stop some of that stuff too, because when people start getting involved, I mean, we go to the school board meetings here, and you may have 5 or 6 parents or tax-paying people within that school district show up to a school board meeting. And I understand why, because there's no point in going,
Wow.
because you don't have the ability to talk to anyone. And I get where my school board is at right now. I see the way they conduct business. I don't agree with the way they conduct
Yeah.
business, because if you want to ask anyone in the school board a question at our school right now, you don't have that ability whatsoever. They adjourn the school board meeting. The school board members get up and walk out, and then the
Well,
superintendent will address whoever's there. Any questions you have, you only have the superintendent
to me,
to
it should
talk
be a
to.
public meeting.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
should.
It is a
All right, I
public
got an
meeting.
answer for your question on where Arkansas is. So Arkansas is ranked 47th out of all 50 states. We
You
are in
know,
the top. We're 3 from the bottom. 3 from
Who's
the
the
bottom.
worst? Who's the worst?
Oh, who's the worst?
Yeah, there's only 3 that
Oh,
are
I
the
gotta
worst.
ask that. So
well,
Wallet Hub, 47 out of 50 states. Yeah, we are lowest educated and one of the lowest educated in the whole United States.
Okay.
and
Best
that's sad,
states.
because Governor Sanders is all about she keeps this rhetoric going that we're super competitive in the market. Our kids are getting all these things, and we just passed the breakfast bill too. I can't remember what
Well,
the
for school education well-being, we're 36th out of the state. So our students are well off, but they're not educated well. But we're 36th in the state. They get their food. They're well taken care of, but they don't.
yeah,
They're just not
Yeah,
educated.
the free lunch when you're talking about, Mike, I don't know the number of it either, but
yeah, the free
I
breakfast.
think it passed, didn't it?
Yeah, it passed. Matter
Okay,
of fact,
it's
she
not the
announced
end of
that
the
she
world, but
signed it.
it's not the end of the world to me, but I don't think it's needed. I think if you need, I'm all for a kid that needs, or they're hurting to pay the breakfast bill. I go for it. I give it to them. But I think there needs to be some kind of an income level to it.
Well, here's my deal, and this will
They
be
can loosen
something.
it up from what it is,
Yeah, this is where
but
I'll
not,
always be
you
on
know,
anything like this. I
if you're
always
living
want.
in Cantrell Heights and you're
Yeah,
going,
your kid's probably not in need of a free
yeah,
breakfast or a free lunch. And I'm a big supporter of the government being out of the schools as much as possible. I do not think the government should be involved, should have an input in the schools whatsoever. Now, do I think
the
and in
state
Hot Spring,
government would have to a degree, but
yeah, and in Hot Spring County, we're pretty rural, especially Glen Rose is really rural
yeah, I'm familiar with
area
Glen Yeah.
where we don't have a lot of jobs around us. The median income here, I think, is like $23,000 a year. So it's below the poverty level. I mean, is the median income. So a lot of our kids, the meals they get at school may be the only meals they get at
Yeah, I
all.
mean, I'm not against it. I'm just, like I said, it
I'm
passed.
for it. If you can't afford it, you get it. If you can afford
know,
it, then you shouldn't be.
I don't know that it's the end of the world that it passed, but
No,
I'm just
no.
not probably
Yeah.
for it. I'm for it having restrictions on it. Let's put it that way.
I am too. I am too.
I
But
got one more thing.
Go
So
ahead.
the worst state is New Mexico, apparently.
Really? I didn't guess that.
Well, they're sparsely populated, so
Yeah.
that's
A
probably
lot of
why.
rural area.
New Mexico is super rural state. I
Yeah.
bet you the population is
I
less.
mean,
than
you get out of Albuquerque. When you get out of Albuquerque, it's in Santa Fe. It's pretty much,
Yeah,
But
Albuquerque and Las Cruces, which kind of splits the
all right,
border.
let's move on. Let's
Yeah.
move on to let's look at some of the Hammer bills. Mr. Senator Hammer.
You
who
want to
was
look at Hammer
born-
bills or talk about ivermectin first?
Okay, we'll do the ivermectin. Get that out of the way.
Yeah.
Give
He
it to
seems really eager to talk about
that's
ivermectin.
SB. That's SB.
He likes to talk about them horse pills.
Well, kinda. Hey, and it's funny you say that.
That's that Alan Clark bill,
Yep.
sponsored in Mary Bentley's, and it's SB 189.
And Mary Bentley just jumped onto it, and all the co-sponsors just jumped onto it this week because it was initially just an Alan Clark bill. But when I was there speaking on SB 90, I talked to Senator Love. He's a Democrat senator, which I kind of respect the guy. I mean, because he's honest with me when I talk to him. He's like, "What is it with you guys in this ivermectin?" I mean, and it wasn't that he was making fun of us or anything. He's like, "I just don't get it," because
We needed it during COVID, is what we did.
yeah, because he's from Little Rock. He's never been around animals, anything like that. And I started talking to him, and we kind of was prodding each other with it. But ivermectin through COVID, we learned a lot about ivermectin with COVID that I don't think anyone expected to learn when COVID came about. And I don't know if people paid any attention to the triple dose that Donald Trump got because he was president at the time.
Remember that?
Ivermectin was
Oh, they
one of
got
them.
all over him about that. They got all over him about that.
Yeah, and he came hop, skipping, and jumping out of the hospital two days later.
Mhm.
So it works, and now that's coming to find out that hey, it's good for cancer. It's defeating cancer. It's defeating Parkinson's.
I don't know a lot about it, but I'm for having it over the counter. I mean, I don't see a reason why it has to be a prescription myself.
Well, if
Well,
I can give it, I used to use it on my animals. I would used to give it to my chickens. I gave it to my rabbits whenever
What
they
turns
got
everybody
infections.
off when they hear that?
Yeah,
They think, oh
it's
my
just a
God.
simple thing. They use it in Africa. I mean, they
took
use
it.
it in Africa on low income people.
I got COVID last year, toward the end of the year, and my neighbor, I mean, he uses it for his horses and his cows. He drew me up a syringe of it, and I put it in juice, and I drank 2 cc's of it 2 days in a row, and lo and behold, everything was gone pretty quick. But
I think it's going to pass myself.
I think it's gonna. I don't think it's just gonna pass. I think it's gonna fly through. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm actually really
Now
surprised
that there's a lot of
because
people on board that are difference makers, and
my concern with this bill when it gets to the House, I think the Senate, it's going to breeze through the Senate, is pharmaceutical lobbyists. Because the pharmaceutical companies
well,
do
yeah,
not want
no,
ivermectin to be ready available for
no.
human consumption over the counter because it is going to impact their bottom line drastically.
They wish everything was.
Because I think it's like 5 cents a pill right now. Like it is super, super cheap.
Yeah.
I promise you it will not stay that way. And Arkansas is the second state. I believe Tennessee was the first to push ivermectin through for over the counter. And I haven't researched the way they implemented it because that's going to be the deal breaker here is how are they going to implement it? Because there's nothing that they're saying right now is how they're going to implement it. Are they going to require any type of testing? Are they going to I expect pharmaceutical companies to get super involved in this bill before it's implemented. It'll pass, but the implementation of it
Where's
is
it at right
probably going
now?
to
Is
get
it
drug.
going? Where's it at right now?
I got it pulled up in here.
It's
Going
in
to
committee. They've made 3
committee.
amendments to it. Let me see what the latest amendment is to it, because I think an amendment was made to it today. Yeah, it's just they engrossed it, so that's it. And they added Brown, Hall, Long, and Womack to the on the House side. So really all the amendments that it looks like that they're getting right now is just adding sponsors to it.
But
So-
that's a good thing. That means it's popular. I mean, if when
Oh,
you get
yeah,
something with the whole everybody sponsoring it, it's going to go. I mean,
Oh, I'm gonna give you my little 2 cents on it. The thing is, we
right.
really didn't need to have this bill because it should have been well within our rights to do stuff like this. The only reason we're doing this bill is because the media made such a big huff and a puff about Donald Trump and other people like Joe Rogan doing this stuff. They're like, no, it's for horseradish. You can't. No, they just wanted to
Well, I
keep
think
people
bigger
from
than
winning
that.
so bad that they had to make a lie out of it just to keep the whole COVID narrative going.
I think
I
it's
think
more
it's
to
just
that. It
stupid.
messes up their vaccine. It makes people anything that slows people getting vaccinated, which slows their pocketbooks, they're against.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I agree with that too. But either way, it's still ridiculous. They're taking our medical freedoms away just so they can make a buck, just so they can get a win against
They
Donald Trump.
constantly
And
do that. They constantly do
it's
that.
insane.
Well, they're learning
So-
right now they're not going to get any wins against Donald Trump right now because for once in my lifetime, outside of Ronald Reagan, which I was a young guy when Ronald Reagan was president, we have a president that is, when I say for the people, he is doing exactly what he ran on. His Senate, outside of a handful of them that are wishy-washy one way or the other, depending on how the wind's blowing, have kind of pushed through, everything that's going through and Congress is doing the same thing in the House of
Now, I'm
Representatives.
surprised on how fast. I've never seen. Well, it was slow going to get your cabinet officials confirmed, but it's always that way when you got Republicans in office. The dadgum Democrats, they get theirs through quick, and
And
they
today,
stall our ass. They stall our ass always. But now that we've gotten our key ones in, our controversial ones in,
we got Cash Patel today.
we'll talk
Which
about
was
that.
Which was a fight.
We'll talk about that later. But
yeah, so
but
I'm
that's
impressed right now.
yeah, it's a lot better than I thought it would be. Let's put it that way.
Well, let's just say this: Donald Trump is not the lead story on anything right now. It's Elon Musk. We didn't elect Elon Musk. No, we elected Donald
No,
Trump.
we didn't, and he hired Elon Musk,
and we knew it.
That.
We voted for him because of that. And look at, when
I don't see a problem with any of the things they're closing down. U.S. AIDS, that needs to go away. That's a UN indoctrination.
Well, I'm going to tell you exactly.
It's a slush fund. That's what it is. It's a money laundering slush fund. That's all it is.
It is totally, and we're kind of getting off track here, guys. But that is totally out there. And
well, we're not getting off track because I want to pull you back in real quick. Okay. USAID is, and I talk about my past a little bit within special operations. USAID deals with covert operations all over the world. We are in the business of assisting governments or inputting new governments. And the way you do that in these countries is through slush, hush, funneled money, because you got to have a pocketbook somewhere. Not all of this is, I'm not saying it's 99% illegal.
Well, it's
all
like
that money has been going.
It's like trying to, it's like, they say they don't want us around in these countries. They don't want us influencing their government, but they like our money. Okay. They just want the money with no ties. And we're saying, no, we're just going to cut it all off because, and now they're crying because they've lost their money. Now, all they want
Billions.
Is back out and give them, just send them, kind of like your kids, send me the check and I'll handle what needs to be done with it. No, we're not playing that shit no more.
I'm almost to the point when Elon gets through with this first 6 months to a year with Doge, I think we may have a balanced budget when he gets through pulling money back in. And it terrifies him. I can't remember she's either a senator or congresswoman or something out of Georgia. $2 billion they found today in the last week of Joe Biden's presidency. 2 weeks before he was left from being president, she stood up a new company and it got
lost half the money they sent to the
$2 billion. That's Insane.
Zelensky don't know what he did with half the money we gave to him. It's funny. I know what happened to it.
You want to make a bet? I'll get rich quick tonight. Look, if somebody wants to put some money on it, I'll be more than happy to jump on a jet and go somewhere in the Eastern European realm, and I bet I find just about all of it that's been funneled back to the United States.
All right, guys.
I got another thing into Democrat pockets too.
Yes.
No, it's just.
I'll make that claim.
You said it's not in just Democrat pockets?
No, it might also be in other Republican pockets.
It's in both pockets. Look at Mitch McConnell. It's in both pockets.
He's having a meltdown right now.
Yeah. I mean, to be honest, they get the butt of it because that's where, but the Republicans are getting, the Republicans weren't getting anything, the whole damn thing be over with by now.
Look, if I don't see 100 indictments by middle of summer this year, I'm going to be surprised. Because and we'll talk about cash more in a little bit. But
yeah.
I mean,
let's go to the Kim Hammer bills, which is basically 207 through 212.
The bills that beat you in the head to make sure that we take as much of your rights away from you as we can.
Let's talk about this first. Senator Kim Hammer.
Which one we doing first?
209. But what I was going to say was, everybody, if they don't know, he's running for Secretary of State on the Republican primary. As of now, no one's running against him. There needs to be, but there isn't anybody. So he's got a cakewalk to the state office there, Secretary of State's office, as of now. So all these bills, he's 6 bills he's got are all empowering that position and taking the people's voice away. It is simple. It is simple as that is what he's doing.
And they are going to create.
I'm not saying anything personally against him, but he is on the ride to make this too powerful of a position.
And not just that, but he's going to create a law enforcement agency within these bills.
Well, we're going to get to that one. Yeah.
Yep.
So 209, we're going to start out with.
Okay.
Which is a motion to expunge the vote by which it was emergency clause and they got rid of the emergency clause.
Yeah, it failed. The emergency clause failed every time.
Right. It is disqualify signatures obtained by a canvasser under certain circumstances. Well, so that kind of opens the door to the rest of it. Like I would say that, in other words, his own discretion, if something's wrong with it, he can throw it out. Because the Secretary of State can throw these things out.
At his discretion.
Yeah. Now,
and I want to tell you the reason for these bills.
I believe in canvassing. I believe in signatures. I believe in ballot initiatives. And I believe in them whether I agree with them or not. And that's the big thing. Yeah, sure. When we see something come up like the abortion thing last year, when we see that come up, we go, oh no, put your brakes on. We don't like that. And sure, I guess, subconsciously you wish it would go away, but it's not, because they have the right to initiate this measure, So,
and these bills are.
I'm not for wiping that right out. That's First Amendment rights.
Yeah, these bills are a cause and effect right now too. If people look back to last year, Clint Lancaster was very successful in a couple of counties of getting the paper ballot initiatives pushed through those counties. And when I say it upset the powers that be in the state, that little old Clint Lancaster out of Saline County managed to defeat the elected representatives' wills, because it was elected representatives' wills, not the community's wills. It was the elected representatives' will that was fighting against the ability of the community to be able to do these things. These should be named the Clint Lancaster bills, is what they should be named, because they are attempting to stop people to be us, you and I, citizens.
Well, they want to
stop
successful. They want to stop the conservative things they don't want. in our purple government.
Well, they're not
And-
conservative. Let's just be honest. I mean, we are
No,
not
no,
a
no, no. The
conservative state.
conservative things we do want.
Yeah, we are
We're
not a
trying to
conservative
stop
state.
them in their purple movement.
Yeah.
So, but, and then they also, besides that, and they do want to stop the liberal agendas too.
Yeah.
But I want to stop the liberal agendas too, but I'm not willing to forego the First Amendment over it.
Never. I never ever want to trample on the Constitution whatsoever, no matter what. Matter of fact, if we want to do something as a state and as a country right now, let's start backing a bunch of these dadgum bills out that are already there that tramples on the Constitution, because we keep getting closer and closer to being a socialist society. And we're already kind of mirror an oligarchy and a oh gosh, I can't remember what the other one is that we mirror. We're getting further and further away from a constitutional republic on
Right.
which we were founded on. And Arkansas is way past it already. I mean, we just are. You know, we
Well,
keep talking about how red we are and how conservative we are. And
Charlie Kirk got on us today when I was watching him about a different story, but about, Cotton wanting to keep the Ukraine war going, so what's up with
well,
that?
not just the Ukraine war, but he's blocking one of Trump's cabinet appointees right now,
Well,
wanting to
that's
block.
what that's about, though, I think.
Yeah, wanting to block that. So
Yes.
it's.
And
I would
so,
love to see the whole Turning Point crew show up in Little Rock, Arkansas,
absolutely,
for a week
yeah, it'd be great.
and come
on out.
Come to our legislative session. Do it while we're in session.
Mhm.
Come see for yourself how we support Donald Trump's agenda, how we support the Constitution of the United States, how we support the Constitution of the state of Arkansas. Just come see
Yeah,
what we really are.
we're
And
just
they're
gonna
going to
have
be.
to. We're just gonna have to start primarying some of these people. Whether they're successful or not, we got to at least try to primary some of these people, because they're just getting bold and brazen because they're just stepping in on the Republican ticket. But just because of a Republican ticket in Arkansas, it seems to be not necessarily a good reason.
Charlie Kirk said, "Whoever wants to run against Tom Cotton, he'll fund their campaign."
I believe he did. He referred to
Well, the
that.
thing is, we got to find people who actually want to do it. There's not a lot of people wanting to do that.
Well, it's expensive too.
Well, if he said it's paid for, you still got to have someone wanting to, go toe to toe with Tom Cotton
I
and
believe
some of
you
these
got to
names
go
out
30
there.
grand just to get in the race. So that's
Is
ridiculous.
it 30 grand or 45 grand for senator? I think senator's 45, isn't it?
Maybe.
Is that the state level?
30, but either way, it's more than anybody else, and we're not that rich of a state. All right, let's move on let's go to 210. These are all Kim Hammer sponsored, and Representative Kendon Underwood have sponsored all these bills. And I don't know much about Kendon Underwood, but he's a representative, and he's with Hammer on these bills. But anyway, this one says to require the signer to read the ballot title in the presence of a canvasser. Okay, I'm gonna say something about that. I've collected signatures before. When you collect signatures, if you're at a Walmart parking lot or where have you, some people want to talk to you. Some people just want to sign it and they're in a hurry to go. They don't want a bunch of crap. They don't want you to ask them they don't want you reading it to them. They don't want you, I always tell them about it, of course, and they usually want to know about it, but they don't want you necessarily reading the legality to it. And they don't want you, they don't want to show their driver's license, things like that. So, on this one,
these bills are making being a canvasser and getting initiatives put on the ballot harder than it is to vote.
Oh, absolutely. You're going to lose half the people that would sign it just because they don't want to dick with you. They don't want a government meeting when they're signing this stuff.
Yep.
And they're trying to put so much red tape on collecting signatures and try to make it, a legislative meeting. People aren't going to do that. They're going to blow it off and go, well, I'll sign it later, or I don't want to do that. And some of them aren't going to want it just because they don't want to do it, just to not do it.
Well, here's
They
the
don't
deal.
want to show their ID, you know?
If 209 passes, he really don't need the rest of these bills. If he gets 209 through, he basically becomes the law, the final authority, the beginning authority. If it gets to the Secretary of State and the Secretary of State says, I don't like this bill after 209, all this other stuff really
But now,
don't.
if it's one they want, if it's one they like, they'll push that thing through, and then they'll put it on the ballot. This pisses me off. They'll put it on the ballot, and they'll make it so long that nobody will read it. So if they're going to make people read it to people on the street to sign the petition, they should make them read it all, you know, when they're voting. They're not going to read all that when they're voting.
Well, a lot of these bills are deceiving.
That's how they change the titles. They make them misleading. So they need to stop that crap too if they're going to play that game. If they're going to play that game, they need to stop that too.
If they want to pass a bill, that's the one. And we've seen it this last year in the abortion, the female health. I forget what the name how they named it, but it was all about abortion. But they called it, I can't remember what the name of the bill was because I counter-protested. Yeah, I counter-protested that thing, and almost everyone that walked up to that booth signed that petition. When I started reading them, what that really was, they're like, well, that's not what we're getting told. I'm like, this is what you're signing. Well, I'm not signing that. You guys are deceiving us. And they walked off, and we wound up defeating it here out of Hot Spring County. But it's just, the things we need, they won't do. The things that will restrict us, they will do. It just, and all of these
these all say all over the place that I'm fixing to be Secretary of State, and this is the way I want it to be.
Well, and this bill here is one that has to declare an emergency, and we'll explain that now, because this bill 210 has to declare an emergency. What that means when it has to declare an emergency on this bill is that as soon as it gets through the Senate and as soon as it gets to the House, it immediately gets transmitted to the governor. The second the governor signs this bill, it goes into effect. So if this makes it through tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday and the governor signs it Wednesday, this is the law of the land immediately.
And that's insane. That's just like direct, what do you call it?
Yeah, it's
direct dictatorship or something. That's insane.
Well, there's no putting this on the ballot. There's no putting this out to vote. There's no getting any opinions on it. It's the law.
Right. And then there's 211 that says to amend the law concerning initiative petitions, referendum petitions, to require a canvasser to submit an affidavit before signatures can be counted. You know, this is all boiling down to this last one, which this one is really a doozy. This one's a waste of money. SB 212.
Yeah, he's creating a law.
The Document Validity Division. So I don't know if DVD, I guess, is what it would be.
Yeah.
And I don't know if he's trying to be copycat to the federal government of Doge and all that thing. Well, we'll just create a department. But the thing is what he's creating a department for is to empower the office of Secretary of State, which is what he's going to have, which I can't believe he's doing all this stuff and running for the office. I mean, that's like
the Secretary of State will have law enforcement.
You know,
the Secretary of State will have CLEST elitist certified law enforcement officers in the Secretary of State's office that are able to carry a gun,
right?
Have arrest powers, all over ballot initiatives. I mean, if that doesn't scare you as a citizen of the United States, not just a citizen of Arkansas, if that does not scare you as a citizen of the United States, that's
I'm really
crazy.
Disappointed. I may be wrong, but I'm really disappointed in the pushback they've gotten, the lack of pushback they've gotten with the other legislators on this. You know, this could very well pass.
It's going to pass. There ain't no very well to it. It's going to pass.
I mean, what's their budget going to be? Where are they getting their money to? You're going to have agents. That means you got to have, you know, I mean, it's just a total.
It sounds like they're trying to make their own secret police. That's what it really sounds like to me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think that that's what they're doing, but I do think it is a strong arm tactic to prevent people from speaking out, though.
Just think of it like this. You're out here doing a ballot initiative at Walmart. You're talking to grandma and grandpa, and grandma and grandpa says, I'm not showing you my driver's license because we have a driver's license requirement in one of those bills, which we don't even require driver's license
It won't
to
get
vote.
signed.
Yeah. And there's an auditor, because they're probably going to be called auditors or something, you know, just to make it seem whatever. But you wind up in handcuffs, because that's going to be what happens. They're going to start going out and they're going to start arresting people.
And that's wrong.
That are doing
totally
ballot
wrong.
initiatives.
That's just totally wrong. That's kind of like back to the school board thing, them arresting people for giving their opinion. You know, I'm not talking about because they threw something at the chairman. I'm talking about because they actually did not agree, wanted to bring something up they didn't want to talk about. They're going to have them removed. If they weren't going to be removed, they're going to have them removed. You know what having someone removed is. So, but this here is really gives a lot of power to the Secretary of State's office, and I don't understand. And you know, they talk, well, we're Republican or whatever. You know, I don't want to see it. You might get Democrats back there again. Man, could you imagine the power they're going to have?
Well, here's the deal. You're now going to have a legislative body that encompasses a judicial body within it. That's illegal.
There's just no need for it, too.
You know, there's a reason why we have 3 branches of government, and they're separated. Now they're trying to combine 2 branches within the same office. Because to me, that's what's happening is they are creating 2 branches that is encompassed by one person.
I mean, I don't know what kind of personnel, they don't even get into the organization of it. So I don't know. I'm sure the Secretary of State's a big daddy on it because he's the one doing it. So
I hope somebody runs against him, a really good, viable candidate.
They need someone to do it. I mean, because I don't know.
We need to get like a coalition of people actually finding people to run against these people, because right now I don't really see anyone running against them the next year.
You can't afford to. You are not going to compete with a termed out legislator that has been in the pocket of lobbyists for 12 years, 15, 16 years, because when it comes time for them to start their campaign, they have a war chest already. They don't have to build a war chest. They already have a war chest to go out and start campaigning, and they have a platform already. I mean, because he has a platform. He has the ability on the government's dime to do whatever he wants, show up anywhere,
he's
talk
a pretty
to any
popular guy. He's a pretty popular guy.
He is.
He's going to give the good of this bill, which there is none. But he's going to downplay it to where, well, that's not going to be, you know, what, you know, not, it doesn't say that. It doesn't say, it says it gives it what it can do. I mean, you know,
you guys know this as well as I do right now.
Power it has.
Americans are waking up across this country because of the last 4 years of national politics. Arkansans are waking up because of shows like this, because of Arkansas First and some of these other super conservative news agencies that are in Arkansas. I don't think anyone rises to the level of what Arkansas First is doing right now. When you look at all the contributors we have, because we have someone working on everything. I mean, everything. We got people that are at the Capitol almost every day. We've got people that are dealing with school boards. We got people that are dealing with law enforcement.
We even got a restaurant review now.
Yeah, I mean, we got kitty barf, baby. I mean,
that's all we need is kitty bar.
Yeah, it's people are waking.
I read Clint's restaurant review. I had to go eat something afterwards. I got so hungry talking about it.
I can't talk about food because as soon as I get through talking about food, I go put on 2 pounds, and I've been good at losing weight.
So we're not for all the hammer bills, right? I'm not.
None.
And the 212 is really just it's way out there, ridiculous. But it kind of caps the other ones. It's kind of saying, okay, we can't. You got to do this. You got to do that. You got. And guess who's going to enforce it? The DVD. That's who's going to enforce it. So everybody's going to be scared to go out and canvass. And people are going to be scared because actually the people who sign it, if they don't give you the right information, they can be held accountable too. So why would they stick their neck out and sign something that might be twisted around on them?
Can you imagine?
How is that even legal to hold them accountable? That's the thing right there. Is they're
I think it said, I'm not looking at it, but it says either the canvasser or the person signing it, it already says, I believe it already says on there that if you sign these and you give false information, it can be punishable by law. If you don't, you're not who you said, or you're not a registered voter, and that, that's another thing. You have to be a registered voter. So you have to be a taxpayer, a real estate taxpayer.
Hey, and this has an emergency clause in it too. So this thing gets out of there next Tuesday. You got a new law enforcement agency Wednesday. No training, no background, no policies, no nothing. Just come in and let's start going out and chasing citizens of Arkansas. I mean, the document validity division shall be a law enforcement agency of the office of the Secretary of State, appointed by the Secretary of State from his or her employees to investigate the validity of documents filed with the Secretary of State under Arkansas Code Title 7, Chapter 5 or 9. I mean, all the power to start a ballot, to enforce the ballot.
And you're not going to tell me they're going to be some collateral duty for people. Those are going to be jobs. Full-time jobs. They're not going to be collateral duty. It makes it sound like people within my department will. No, they're not going to. They don't do that crap. They're going to make a job out of it, and it's going to be okay.
It's going to be more bureaucracy and more of our tax money going.
You'll have another person that's a director of it, probably, that's going to be a six-figure person, and then you're going to have, down the line from there. So
here's the thing that makes me laugh to some extent. One of the duties of one of the investigations under this chapter will be compelling witness attendance. Compelling. We all know what that means when you say, I'm going to compel you to be a witness. You're either going to be a witness or we're going to arrest you.
Steve Bannon, he knows what it means.
Yeah, he went to jail for 4 months. I mean,
and that's contempt of Congress, which is a law, but they don't ever do it usually until now. But
I mean, they have their own subpoena rights. It's
like
judge, jury, and executioner all in one office.
And it says, I believe, does it not say it's a law enforcement arm?
Yes, that's what I just read. That it is a new law enforcement arm, and they're already talking.
Never heard of anything like that in any state. Nobody, they like to, every time I bring something up, we wrote state guard. Well, nobody's doing that. Well, you ain't nobody doing that either, What?
Hey, look, it'd be a good job to have, because what are you really going to do? I mean, it's probably going to pay $70,000-$80,000.
Whatever the Secretary of State tells you to do. I mean, whoever he tells you to go after.
Well, and where does it end at? Because if you've got an opponent that you don't agree with, the Secretary of State has someone that is balking at him or wanting to get something done that affects the Secretary of State. You just send an investigator out to them.
They're trying to eliminate.
It's a secret police. That's what it is. That's a private police that's going to go after your opponents. It's going to go after people who are going against you. It's a secret police. That's all it is.
Yep.
And yeah, it's just not going to. It's just going to be a terrible thing. It's not going to be good.
Kevin, have we got any questions yet, or nobody commenting or anything?
Oh, let me get a look. See here. I saw a couple that were just talking, but I didn't see anything major. Let's see what we got here. Here's Jackie Burns. He's got something.
Okay.
I've been silenced at my local school board. Miss Jackie Burrows Nut. I've been silenced at my local school board multiple times on topics being talked about. I was denied to address the school board about my child's 504 not being followed and the principal violating these ethics, sending my child's grades and test scores to her tutor. That didn't work at the school. This is why I am running for school board. Miss Jackie Burrows Nut. Oh, that's awesome. I'm glad you're running.
I know Jackie Nut personally. I hope Missy Bosch is listening in right now. If she's listening in or if she's on there, please comment. If she is, say that she's there, or if we can add her at all possible. Jackie Burrows Nutt is running for school board position this election at the school board. And
Which
she is
school
a
board? Which school board?
Glen Rose School
Oh,
District.
okay.
And she is a big supporter of our children's education. She is, when I say she thinks like us, talks like us, walks like us, the whole 9 yards when it comes to education and transparency and 504s and IEPs. She is on it. I've been at school boards with her present, her and her husband, Matt present, and it has, I mean, she has been fighting. We have got a principal there that's right now is a high school principal that has bullied her child. Attempted to intervene in her ability to participate in extracurricular activities. Like when I say her family has been targeted by that school, her family and her children has been targeted by that school, and it is affecting the education of her children, and it is affecting the well-being of them because of the issues that kids deal with at school as it is to begin with. And now you're having to deal with teachers and faculty and principals to just get through your school day and not have contact with them and avoid these people. And it's absolutely shameful the way she has been treated by that school.
Well,
I got a couple more right here. So we got Arkansas First is saying, keep with your steak, Keith.
what was that?
Arkansas First said, Arkansas First News says, keep with your steak, Keith.
Okay.
And then we got Candy Barnhall. I can't even speak tonight. I'm sorry. Candy on here. She's saying, hey guys, you're doing a great job. And she also has another one down here where it says, we need to keep people in the masses speaking out against these bills.
Yes. I'll say this. Arkansas First has got a lot of traction. You know, on Wednesdays now, I have some Zoom calls with different committees across the state, talking about what is going on, what bills we're paying attention to, what bills affect us as citizens. And that's exciting to me for people to be reaching out to us in different committees, whether they be Republican, Tea Party, Democrat, whatever. We are starting to get citizens reach out and ask for our input and ask for updates, which is the reason why we're doing this, this time of night live. So there's ability for mass participation. Everybody's home. Yeah, they've probably just gotten through eating dinner, but this is necessary. What you guys are doing with Saline Hardliners and what I attempt to help you guys with any knowledge I have or input that I have that you guys allow me to have is phenomenal, and we are getting traction, and we're going to make differences. I'm telling you, when the next elections come around,
Yeah, I was going to
Arkansas
say
First
that. Yeah.
is going to make a difference in primaries, and we are going to support candidates that support our Constitution
Yes.
and our freedoms.
Yeah.
No other requirements.
MAGA type candidates. And the thing is by the time, well, people are starting to announce now. It's not too late to announce in any way. This is early, but because I believe filing date's going to be in, well, the primary will be in May of 26, and then the
filing is February or March.
Like February or March. So
yeah.
There's some, there's time for people to jump in, but it's something that, and anybody statewide, as far as Secretary of State, that's a statewide position.
Yep.
And, any of these positions, Tom Cotton, that's a statewide position. So
that's a national.
People need to think about this, or think about someone who would be good and approach, and someone that's electable. I mean, and because it would be tough. These are tough races we're talking about. These are tough races that'll take a lot of money and a lot of effort and a lot of people behind them. But I'm gonna tell you what I was gonna say was, if since the election of Donald Trump, and he's doing better than what we thought. He's getting more done than what we thought. His popularity is over what it was when he was elected. And if that keeps kicking in the way it is, if this keeps happening, by the time people file for this 26th election, which Cotton is up for re-election in 26, representatives are always, the French Hill and all that always are. So as this gets closer, it's going to make a Trump style candidate, or Vance. It doesn't have, anybody thinking like that, conservatives, it's going to make them more popular.
You want to tell you why Donald Trump's so successful right now? And I think a lot of people across the United States and Arkansas will realize this. Donald Trump did not go to the Republican well when he got elected. He had no intention. He was very upfront. I made the mistake the first time of going to the Republican well and taking the candidates that the RNC, that these lifelong politicians said, hey, Donald, you need to put this person here. You need to put that person there. What Donald Trump done this time, which is unlike any president ever before, he said, I'm going to go get the absolute best person to do the job that, for one, has done the job, been an investigator, been an agent, the most successful businessman in the world right now is working for you and me for free.
And it's not over with. People are having meltdowns about this, and I don't mean just Democrats. I mean
because he's being successful. That's why
Republicans, the washing machine is having a meltdown. In fact, they ought to increase his security, if anything, because they don't like what he's doing at all. And we're talking about powers to be that are very powerful.
Elon Musk's life is the person that I probably pray for the most right now, that is in any position anywhere in the United States, because he is the most targeted person and of everyone that is not a Trump fan. I mean, they're literally calling for his head. When they went to the Department of Education, beating on the doors last week.
He was real popular before the election. It's like Donald Trump. He was really popular when he had the TV show, The
Apprentice.
He was great popular. People loved him. Not everybody, but a lot of people loved him. And he ran for president. They all hate him. So now Elon Musk was a really popular guy,
Yep.
Well, they say used to call him the Tony Stark of real life,
Yep.
And now he's the devil now. He's the devil.
He's ruining our country. We didn't elect him. We didn't this. We didn't that. No, he is exactly where we need him to be.
He's taking away all of our spending money.
I wonder if they're saying that, hey, he's trying to get our private information that the government already had in the first place.
Yeah, and the VA put out a statement today, finally, and I'm glad they did, clarifying, because the Democrats are really big on, they're taking veterans' benefits away, and they're firing this, and they're doing away with this and that. The director of the Veterans Affairs came out today and said, hey, look, none of our pensions are getting affected. We're not losing any money. We're not losing any positions. Don't pay any attention to the rhetoric.
Anything about Social Security or the VA?
No, and that's
about frivolous money that's going out of this country that doesn't need to be going out of this country.
Well, here's something
you don't pay your neighbor's bill when you can't pay your own bills.
I don't know if y'all seen end of last week, Elon Musk broke down Social Security, and at what age frame, how much you'd put in based on, a certain amount of money that you're making and what you should get in return when you become retirement age. And we are nowhere near. If we had taken all that money and put in a 401k, or we'd put it in our own Roth IRA or something else, we would be multi-millionaires when we became retirement age. Right. But Social Security is always the first thing. Where they're going to go after Social Security.
And then they want to call it. They want to call it a entitlement, which I don't. I disagree with most conservatives. I don't really call it. The people pay into it.
Here's the deal. It's not a benefit. It's not a benefit. It's an entitlement. Because we paid into it. That's our money. We earned it. It's
right,
ours.
but it's not like just.
Well, not that they force us to pay into it.
Yeah, you don't have a choice.
Yeah, they force us to pay into it so that we can have a better future. And what do? They
Do they
take that money
need
and
to
they
revamp
squander
it
it.
for young
They
people?
leverage it. Everything that they take money out for anything, and they need a loan against something, they'll loan against Social Security.
Do they need to redo it for, take a look at it for younger people? Absolutely, they need to take a look at it.
Absolutely, it
But
needs
you know why
revamped.
If
they don't
anything,
want
I
to?
would like
You
an
know why
opt-out
they don't want to
option.
quit paying it? They don't want to quit paying it because when they quit paying it, they got to quit getting it, and they can't stand to not get it.
Yeah, they use it's a slush fund for everyone but the people who receive
I
it.
mean, it's hard to tell everybody.
Exactly.
Y'all gonna keep paying
You
it.
only get so much of your own money.
Yeah,
Y'all
and you'll
gonna
never
keep
see
paying
all
it,
of
but
it.
we're not going to give you anything out of it.
Yeah.
That will go over well. So let me go this next one here. Since we're on time here, I got a SB. This is sponsors were Senator Breanne Davis and Representative Aaron Pilkington. SB 9, which is to create and make American Healthy Again Act and prohibit manufacturing, selling, delivering, distributing, holding, or offering for a food product that contains certain substances. And the substances I saw was potassium bromate, and I probably can't pronounce these, propylparaben.
You're probably not meant to.
And then,
Can you tell me what that is?
no.
Exactly.
Red 3, but I do know the red 3 dye. That's a big one. And that's mainly, and it has teeth. It says the first violation's up to $5,000 fine, and which is not a lot for a corporation, but $10,000 for subsequent violations. Okay, that's a good bill. We need to get all this crap out of our foods.
That bill falls short.
It
That
probably
bill falls
I
falls
didn't
way
read the whole
short.
thing, so
We should be banning lab-grown meat for any consumption, whether it be pet or human consumption. We should be banning the distribution, trafficking, interstate trafficking of it, or manufacturing of it in the state of Arkansas. Matter of fact, we need to align ourselves more with the European laws and rules on the foods that we ingest in the United States.
it is a start, though.
It is a start.
It is a start.
And we've got a man sitting at the dadgum top of the food chain right now with RFK that is amazing.
And he's going at him.
He is
He would be for
hammered.
this bill. But yeah, I think it'd probably be easier to pass the way it is, maybe. And then later on, you can add to it.
Yeah.
Not the bill, but have another bill,
Well, I don't
I'd
think
vote
people
for it.
realize the cause
I
and
bet
effect
that's
of
going to
that.
pass. I bet it'll go. I bet
Yeah,
that'll pass.
it'll pass, but there's cause and effect with this. The reason this is coming up now is like autism rates. And if you don't mind, Kevin, take a look at what the autism rates are today versus what they were, I think 40
I
years
never heard
ago.
of it when I was a kid.
Yeah, when we got really big
All right,
into
let me
the
have a
food
look,
dyes and the artificial substances, the artificial meats,
Some of the
I mean,
vaccine stuff, probably. Some of the vaccine
yeah, all of that stuff.
The
Then
COVID for sure has screwed up things.
it started affecting people neonatally, when the baby's in the womb, and then you're creating this stuff, and then when that child gets to childbearing age, now they're carrying these new genetics that is artificially created by the food we eat.
Yeah,
and we support it. It's just this bill is been needed for many years.
Yeah.
You know,
and then I got Senator Alan Clark's bill. Representative Mary Bentley is either co-sponsor or collateral sponsor. SB 189, which authorizes ivermectin for human use to be sold without prescription or consultation from a healthcare professional. Okay, and that's a good bill because that has been known to be a cure, I don't know, a cure, or cuts it short on COVID. So that's one they've been fighting. They were fighting nationally back in the day because it messes up their vaccine strategy.
Messes up their vaccine strategy, affects
And,
pharmaceutical sales.
Messes up their narrative.
It's
And I
it's
think that
something
was
that's a
looking
cure.
pretty good. That was
It's the,
looking pretty good, I think, for
yeah,
Alan.
the first medication that's a cure.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
They
like
don't
I said, I would
cures.
use it on my farm animals, and yeah, it works. But they've also been using it in South Africa and all that for all these people. I mean, it's been
Yeah,
used for years.
I think it's going to go. I think.
Well,
But hey,
Japan's
I've got
been
an
using
answer
it for
for you.
several years now. I mean, there's other countries that this is, regular everyday use for different countries. It's just not in the United States, which there's a lot of things that in the United States we don't have that European countries, Asian countries have, because the United States is not a medical care, not in the medical care business to create cures. That's just not what we've done in the United States. We want people to be sick. We want people to go to the hospitals. We want people to get all these 70 something vaccines, I think, are out there available right now. We push that here. We push that. Matter of fact, I was reading a story the other day about a gentleman that went to the hospital for a heart transplant. A heart became available. They would not let him get his heart transplant because he wasn't vaccinated.
I believe
And
that.
that's insane.
I'm like, so you want
And they're wanting
to
to give
heal
babies,
somebody to kill
newborns a
somebody?
lot more. They want to give newborns a lot more of these vaccines, which is unnecessary.
Well, look what's happening with our kids now. The educational crisis that we have. Well, I can attribute it to schools and education. You can probably trace some of this stuff back to some of these vaccines, and then the ADHD or whatever it is, the hyper deficit disorder. I think 70 something percent of the kids in the United States right now has some level or form of ADHD.
Well, they say they do.
Yeah, they say
Yeah.
they do.
I mean,
But I want to touch on before we go to our national thing we're going to talk about.
Well, here, I got that little report that you were asking me about the rates of autism.
yeah.
Okay.
So they really didn't actually start looking at autism until the late 90s, accordingly. So from the 90s, they're probably about 1 in 500 children, 0.2 of out of 1,000 were diagnosed. And in 2020, that's raised to about 1 in 36, about 2.7% now.
Wow. Massive. That's not accident.
So that's 2 per 1,000 to 26 per 1,000.
They just want rid of us.
Look, I think they're doing everything they can to get rid of
They
the
are.
human race. And this
They
AI
are.
stuff that they got going on right now, I think there's some great uses for it. But when you start having a
Robot stuff and
self-thinking
yeah, all that
system,
stuff, yeah.
the human race is done.
Where'd you go?
I want to change gears here and talk about a couple of these library bills that are coming up or are out. I'm not sure where they're at, to be honest, but they're both Dan Sullivan bills, and one is SB 181, and it's also got Wayne Long, representative, who's a fine representative. He's always
Wayne is probably one of our most conservative
yes,
representatives
yes.
that we have.
He's on board with it. And then you got a co-sponsor, Representative Rebecca Burks, and it's to amend to amend the library law to amend the requirements for the state librarian and to amend the requirements for the regional library systems directors. Okay, and I believe it says in there where right now
The accreditation with the ALA.
It didn't go that far, which I'm mad about. I got really upset when they didn't want to talk bad about the ALA, which I'll talk bad about the ALA any day, all day, because they're terrible. And so they didn't want to go there. Okay. And I was told, well, some people like it. I don't care if somebody like it. It's bull crap. But as far as but it did put right now the directors have to have a master's degree, library science, from a accredited ALA school. Whether they're not taking it away, but they're leaving it kind of to the county, to whoever is over that library, say in Saline County Library Board, to not make that requirement that they have to be accredited by the ALA. Because we've got schools here in Arkansas that have master's programs in library science, and they're not ALA accredited. But that, to me, that doesn't make them bad schools. Just because the ALA doesn't accredit them, I don't care. I would just assume they did not accredit them. It would probably be a better sign. And
you've
so
got to kind of talk about the ALA though when you're talking about, and kind of define what the
American
ALA
Library Association
is representing, because what the ALA is notorious for is a real liberal LGBTQ agenda being pushed to children that are 13 years old.
DIE, as they say, not
Yeah.
DEI. They changed it so people would know what they're talking about, I guess.
Yeah. 13 years and younger. And what this bill is going to do also is it's going to give them the ability to do on-the-job training for a year to be a library director. And I don't have the bill
Or have
pulled
a
up right
master's
now.
degree from another,
Yeah.
and doesn't really mention it, but from a program that's not ALA accredited, as long as that library board feels like, which in our county, I'm going to fight for to have that doesn't matter about the ALA.
Well, here's the deal. Let's talk about your county real quick, Keith. Where was your director that was terminated this last year? Where was that director from? Don't tell me I'm going to know more than you on this. She's from California.
Oh, yeah. I didn't know you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like she was from Saline County.
Yeah, no. She came from California. She's got a lawsuit against the county now,
Yeah.
for wrongful termination. And the reason she was terminated is because they have pornographic materials in the library that they're giving to elementary, juvenile children as reading that the kid can just go in and get.
If you guys want to have confirmation on that, go look up Cody Crumpton's article on Arkansas First, and you can read all about it. She did a great job, amazing job.
Yeah.
And that's not done yet. But, of course, like I said, the library, our library is overfunded. It's overfunded.
By millions.
Yeah. And now they're going to make this petition thing hard to get it on the ballot, it looks like. So I don't know how that's going to work out. But the other bill that goes along with this, and it's Dan Sullivan's bill. Co-sponsor is Stephen Meeks, Representative Stephen Meeks. SB 184 to transfer the powers and duties of the Arkansas Educational TV Commission and the State Library Board. Well, they're going to get rid of the library board.
Yeah, and it's going to go under the TV Commission.
Under the Department of Education.
Yeah.
And which is the Secretary of Education. So I like that because the State Library Board, and Jason Raber was a big influencer on this bill. I know.
Mm-hmm.
He's on the library board, but he can't get anything done because they're all a bunch of liberals, and they just want they want to promote all this ALA propaganda, indoctrination smut they got in these books.
Well, most of your library boards are, and this is kind of crazy with us being such a big Republican state. Most of your library boards, and I've started talking to other counties about what their library boards are made up of. And I know Hot Spring County's library board director is the chairman of the Democrat Party for Hot Spring County.
Well, yeah, I mean,
so you're going to get those Democrat values.
It's like universities. It's like the university campuses.
Exactly. All of our major, establishments are controlled by Democrats, even if they're not really Democrats in name.
If it's anything to do with normally your arts and your things like that are going to be, liberal controlled, but they still have to answer. They need to have to answer to somebody, and just having a bunch of, that's the thing is they're stacked up with people who want to keep this stuff in the library, because realistically it's an easy thing to do. Just just move them.
I think the quorum court should be over that, should control that budget yearly. I think the county quorum court, because it's taxpayer funded. I mean, so
it was in Saline County, it was a levy that it was a millage.
Yeah.
That they voted on for the library. So I think it's on a percentage. So it's been going up. That's why they have all this excess money, but they need to get it back on the ballot. It needs to be lowered. I'm not for getting rid of the library. I like
no.
But it needs to get under some control and get some common sense to it. And that's why I'm more of a WLA fan, a World Library Association fan. So if you read on there, they say just the opposite. We're not into indoctrination. We're not trying to form opinions to children with these books, which the ALA basically says we're promoting it, you know?
Well, and your library director, I think salary was like $100,000 a year. It was a very nice salary.
Good job. It's a good job.
Oh, it's
And
great job.
Anyway, that's a story and a thing that's in process of happening. So it's not over with yet. They may think it's over. I don't think it's over with yet. But so
as far as I'm concerned, it ain't over yet.
let's talk
No,
about
it ain't.
let's talk
It ain't
about,
over until ALA's gone.
before we go, let's
That's
talk
right.
about this Kash Patel, our man. What's he gonna do? He's gonna upset. I tell you what, you got some FBI agents that are running for the hills right now.
And they should be.
You got FBI agents, you've got congressmen, you got senators, you've got every level of government.
Oh, this man knows how to do it.
He is not going to play. I'm telling
knows
you
how
right
to
now,
do it.
that man is not playing.
Oh, if you ever watch one of his movies, but he doesn't leave a rock unturned.
They are terrified of him. I watched his confirmation today, and it got paused about halfway through the Senate confirmation, so they could get up and speak and try to delay the confirmation of Kash Patel today. And it was just rhetoric. He's not an American.
He got in. I never thought they would let him in. And I'm talking about, I thought there was enough Republicans to be against him, to be honest, because I mean, this man is, I mean, he's fixing to do some damage to the FBI. I don't mean bad damage, good damage.
No, he is going to punch every federal legal agency in the face. And not when I say punch them in the face, he is going to go after the money that is being uncovered by Elon with Doge. He is going to have that law enforcement
Ted Bundy's not going to say a word about it, being Attorney General.
And he is going to jump right behind it, and they are going to hit. I mean, when I say put the foot on the gas tomorrow, if you're an FBI agent or you're a part of the DOJ in any shape, form, or fashion, you better freaking get your shit together, because he's coming.
He's another Tom Homan. He's a meanie.
No, nobody's like Tom Homan. Look,
General Patton, yeah.
Well, Norman Schwarzhoff, Stormin' Norman, but Tom Homan is my hero, man, because that dude, I don't care who he's standing in front of.
He's bad, dude.
He's going to tell you how it is.
Yeah.
And Kash Patel's the same way. He can quote.
Tell me I can't come in your town. Just tell me that.
And I'll be there tomorrow.
Yeah.
Look at Little Rock right now. How many times you ever seen a green and white Border Patrol vehicle running around anywhere in Arkansas?
I hadn't seen. Did you see one? I haven't seen it.
They're everywhere.
Good.
They're hitting people daily, and I'm telling you, I had never seen.
And I think Arkansas is going to cooperate with them fine. We're not one of the states. We aren't one of the states that's going to be a thorn in the Homan side.
Tom don't need to come here. I mean, we're good.
No, we'll be fine on that, I think. But all they got to do is take the gloves off. A place like Little Rock might be a little, they might try to be a little tough, but it's not going to work.
No, not here.
They're not going to get protected in Arkansas by any law enforcement agency in Arkansas. They're not going to get protected. It's not going to be.
Then we got all the bigwig. We got everybody that was crucial in position.
Kash Patel was the last low-hanging. I say low-hanging fruit. He was the last major player to be confirmed. The rest of them,
he's got a drastic cabinet. He really does. He's got a drastic cabinet. And it's a good thing.
It's just funny listening to them during the confirmation today. The things they were saying about Kash, they are.
I know terrifying. You got Adam Schiff and all those people. They're begging to get off the deal. That's why they wanted to be pardoned, pre-pardoned.
Was Adam Schiff actually in the confirmation hearing?
Yet. That hadn't been tested yet.
He
gonna be
spoke at
nasty.
delaying it today. Adam Schiff actually spoke today during the confirmation, trying to stop. Yeah, trying to delay the confirmation of Cash Patel again.
Well, yeah,
I bet he got bug-eyed.
he's one of the #1 targets because he's a liar. He just lies to hear himself lie.
Look,
terrible.
He is a well-respected senator that has been doing the work of the citizens of the United States with our best interest in mind.
State of California.
As long as he was making multi-million dollars a year, he was going to do what he could do to help us out of money. And that stops.
He is such a condescending piece of. I can't stand that guy.
You know how many people are probably going to be under indictment in this first week? Because Elon Musk has already uncovered stuff that the FBI can go in on right now.
Can't wait.
That he can go in right now. Elon's going to hand him a dossier and say, this is where you go. This is the door. This is the people. You just got to go. Here's all your evidence. You just got to go get them indicted now. Go do it. And
right, with all that, we're going to go conspiratorial right now. What is your opinions on when they start going after all these people? What is the left going to do?
Oh, I think I still think we could have some real problems. I think something could drastic happen. I don't mean within another country. I mean, like just.
I'm talking about here.
I think you're going to see a major uprising because they're calling for it now.
Because they're going to get to where they go, oh no, we can't have this. You know, this is everything they hate. This is
and
he's going after his political opponents.
You got congressmen telling people to hit the streets.
Not just hit the streets, but go after. I mean, they're literally calling for people's heads right now. Absolutely. Well,
I'm just surprised there hasn't been any violence completely just yet. Because seriously, they're already out in the streets right now, but there hasn't been a major riot yet. There hasn't been a fire in the streets or anything like that.
You know why?
Yet.
Donald Trump's the president.
They would have to be organized to be effective.
I think you're going to get an organized group like Black Lives Matter because there's just so much money behind them.
I see all that, but you know
I mean,
I can't believe they're going to go down. Just let it go down.
They're not. And there's too much money involved right now, and there's too many foreign actors in the United States right now that are being financially affected, that are going to send bad actors.
Carl just sitting back here watching all this going,
that dude
they got me. Dang, they got me.
He is the most disgusting, creepiest dude that I've ever seen in my life. Just the sight of him creeps me out.
He had to give up.
Wait, they're going to release the Epstein files this week. I mean,
JFK's coming out.
I'm telling you, it's going to get bad in the next couple of weeks. And buckle up.
Yep.
We are going to have stuff to talk about. Matter of fact, we may bypass state stuff. No, we won't never bypass.
25 probably a year to be remembered.
And I'm excited for it. And I think most Americans.
What do they call it? Fourth turning.
It's going to be a ride.
Fourth turning.
Yeah. Weird.
What else you guys got? You got any more people asking questions? You got anything? We're going to have to get off.
I'll go over some comments. It's mainly, we got Miss Candy. She is lighting it up in here.
All right.
So she's all saying we need some true MAGA candidates running.
Yes, for sure.
Well, help us identify them. I mean, maybe that needs to be a show over, one of the next couple of weeks.
That's a good idea right there. So this is what I'll say on that.
What it takes to start a campaign and what the steps are and the cost of to start a campaign. Because I'm telling you right now, if you want to run for a state elected position, whether it's state rep, state senator, or statewide position, you need to start now because you need to raise money. If you do not have a war chest by the time July, August, September gets here for filing period in February, because it's a short run this year because we're in a non-presidential year, you need to start now. You need to start knocking on doors. And I'll say this as chairman of the Hot Spring County Committee, I've had 8 people come to me already that are going to run for sheriff in Hot Spring County. And I'm not going to talk about what's got us.
We're not going to talk about the Hot Spring County Sheriff. That was a whole nother story. I still don't know the story, and I don't know if I want to know.
Well, we may make an episode out of it. We'll get a lot of viewership on it, but we'll probably get a little bit of kickback. But I've had 8 people come to me as chairman and say, I am 100% running for sheriff.
Are you one of them?
Hell no. Hell no. I mean, for one, I can't. 2, if I could, I wouldn't. I mean, it's an untenable position. I mean, it for Hot Spring County, because look, we mirror Saline County. You know, we're running a little bit behind you guys with the Harmon days and the boys on the tracks. We've got our own issues that we face in this county, but we mirror you guys a lot of the things you are having happen in there.
Well, it's so close that people in Hot Spring County, their business is in Saline County usually. I mean, I say business, what they do, you know, they come a lot.
Yeah, but we need to have an episode that just goes over the process of how to start a campaign, some of the things you need to be an efficient campaign, an effective campaign, and probably some of the topics you need to run on that is going to be trigger topics for most of Arkansans. And as much as I hate to say it right now,
down what they do wrong, like
you're going to have to punch a sitting representative in the face to win. You're going to have to say
it's always
what
been
they're
hard
doing.
It's always been hard to beat a
Incumbent.
Well, I'll tell you right now, here's one thing I'll say on that is if you actually know someone, if you don't want to run, if you know someone and you know they're a good leader, they're a good candidate and something like that.
Call their name out there.
Yeah, call their name out there. Go to them and say, hey, I think you would be good for this job. I believe in you. You're a good person and you got the qualities. If you know someone, tell them.
We'll have them come on the show with us.
Yeah.
I mean, we'll give them a platform. I think we'd be more than happy to provide a platform.
I think it will get going more as we get a little closer to, you know, into the summer and stuff, but it needs to happen. It needs to be, at least be challenged, you know, and have a nice showing. It'd be nice to have, but it's hard because I've seen so many do it, you know, try it. You know, Conrad tried to go up against Hill, and, you know, it's tough, you know, it's tough.
Well, the reason it's tough, though, is because like what we're doing right now, we talk about these bills and how they're going to affect the citizens of Arkansas. It's not a 1 minute Channel 7, Channel 4, Channel 11, Channel 16 brief overview of 10 bills that went through the Capitol today. Just in definition, we're talking about who's supporting these bills, what these bills mean to Arkansans, how they are going to affect not only your schools, your taxes, but how they are going to affect your daily life. We try to pick out bills that is going to directly affect the citizens of Arkansas. And nobody has done that. And I think that's something that's really unique to Arkansas first.
You know, because you're going to step on toes when you do that. There's no doubt.
Yeah, I mean,
it's fine, but that's what needs to be done. But
facts, as Jimmy Caven says, facts, not fiction.
Right.
We bring you the facts. You make your determination on
I
their way.
don't know anything against Cam Hammer personally, but those bills are atrocious.
This year, for some reason,
shameful.
I think you've seen more of an attack on our individual freedoms in Arkansas this year than you've ever seen.
Yes.
And something that people need to realize.
Exactly what we're trying to get away from nationally. It's exactly what we're trying to get away from as a country. And here they're trying to jam it back down our throats at a local level.
Here's the thing that Arkansans need to realize too. Our legislators, Senate and House of Representatives, state representatives, are there for one purpose: to ensure that we are funded and able to have our government run. And the session is supposed to only last 60 days. You see, right now, we're coming into the 6th week of this session, which is almost 2/3 through it. And we're not even 20% through the bills. So it's going to go over the session, and it's on purpose. We do not need 90% of the bills that are happening within the Senate and the House of Representatives or the House in Arkansas are unnecessary. They are time fillers. They are pork. They have no teeth, no consequences. It is so they can stay at that Capitol longer and get paid more money by the citizens, because they are going to go over budget this year, because they are going to go over 60 days of session. Point blank, period.
Well, guys, I think our time's about up on here, and I thank Mike for coming back on with us, and Kevin for handling all this stuff. So, Saline County, we'll see you next week, and I hope you start watching and give us your input, and also be checking in and sharing Arkansas First News, all the different varieties of news they're having right now, between articles and critiques and podcasts, which we're part of. So I want to see everybody get on there and recommend it to other people.
Like, share, subscribe. If you hear something that we're talking about on here, when you go to work and you're sitting around the water cooler tomorrow, talk about it. If people don't know we exist, they will not get the information that you are receiving by sitting here and taking your time to listen to what we have to say tonight. We need more people watching. We need the like, share, and subscribe. That is how we will not only build our viewership, but how you will make sure you're electing conservative, constitutional representatives, because this is where we hold them accountable, where they haven't been held accountable before. It happens on Saline Hardliners once a week with us.
And the last thing I'll say is, hey, if you're interested, get down to the Capitol, listen to some of this. It's all public. Public can go into any of these committee meetings, and just get down there and get involved. And you don't have to speak, but at least you'll be informed about the bills. And you can talk to some of these senators and representatives around. They're trolling around there, and they'll talk to you usually.
They will.
And so anyway,
if you can't get out there, hold on. If you can't get out there, we also have Miss Candy, who's watching us now, and you can go watch her show. She's up at the Capitol every Wednesday. You can go watch her. Go to ArkansasFirst.com and read our articles. We got a ton out there. Like my Uncle Keith just said, they got a whole bunch of food things now. They got a whole bunch of education. They've got a lot of good articles out there right now.
Yeah, so, it's not just politics. It's school board, law enforcement.
Right.
I mean, it's everything. Your taxes, your local government. If anything that you see on the news on any station, we cover with Arkansas First.
So anyway, tune in. We're going to have to run. So tune in, and Saline County is out.